Alright, so this is not new. We've talked about this previously, but we're going to kind of dig a little bit deeper with this. So we talked about how there's 45, 45, 90, 30, 60, 90 triangles. And we talked about how in the 45, 45, 90 triangle, we have two legs that are exactly the same. You can call them X or X, and two legs, I could say leg. And what we found is that that third side is going to be whatever your legs are times the square root of 2. Now when we looked at a 30, 60, 90 triangle, we talked about how there was something called a short leg and also a long leg and also a hypotenuse. So like my long leg is the same thing as my short leg times the square root of 3. My hypotenuse is twice as big as what my short leg is. So let's look at that 30, 60, 90 triangle for a second, and we're going to kind of just dig into some examples here. So I look at this picture, I know that this is my short leg, I know that this is my hypotenuse, and I know that this is my long leg. So because I know this is my long leg, I know it's 2 times what my short leg is. Or, sorry, I don't know that. I know it's my short leg times the square root of 3. And I know my hypotenuse is twice my short leg. So if I look at x, I know that x is going to be 2 times what my short leg is, which is 2. So I know x is going to be 4. When I look at my long leg, I know it is the square root of 3 times my short leg. Well, my short leg is 2, so my long leg of y is 2 square root of 3. Okay, so looking at number 25, this case I know that this is my long leg. 5 square root of 3 is my long leg, n is my short leg, and then m is my hypotenuse. So I know my long leg equals my short leg times the square root of 3. Okay? So I have to figure out if my short leg times the square root of 3 is the same thing as 5 square root of 3. So what would be my short leg? If I divide both sides by square root of 3, I get my short leg to be 5. So that means n is 5. Okay? So this value is 5, and my hypotenuse is twice my short leg. So I'm taking 2 times 5. So my hypotenuse turns out to be 10. Okay? Let's look at 2 other ones with this. Okay? Alright, so in this case, I know my long leg. Okay? My long leg is my short leg times the square root of 3. My long leg is 9. My short leg is n, so I'm just going to put an n there. N times square root of 3. And then I'm going to just divide both sides by square root of 3. So I end up with 9 divided by the square root of 3. So I'm going to multiply both the top and the bottom by square root of 3. So I get 9 square root of 3. Square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is 3. So what do I get n to be? I get n to be 3 square root of 3. And then if I look at m is 2 times n. So m is going to be 2 times 3 square root of 3, which means m is going to be 6 square root of 3. All right. Let's look at this last example for 30, 60, 90 triangle. So this is my short leg. This is my long leg. I know my long leg is my short leg times the square root of 3. So in this case, I am taking 8 square root of 3 over 3 times the square root of 3. So it looks like I got 8 square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is just 3 divided by 3 means that y is just going to be 8. Okay? If I look at the hypotenuse, I know my hypotenuse is twice my short leg. So I'm taking 2 times 8 square root of 3 over 3. So x is just going to be 16 square root of 3 over 3. Okay. Alright, so let's look at some 30, 60, 90 triangles, okay? I know that both these are my legs, and this is my leg times the square root of 2. So I do know that y is going to be 3 radical 2. My hypotenuse, well, I'm going to take 3 square root of 2, multiply it by the square root of 2. So I get 3 times 2. So x is 6. If I look at number 29, I know both my legs are the same, so that's 4. I know that this is leg, m is leg times the square root of 2, so it's just going to be 4 square root of 2. For 30, I got 5 radical 2 for my hypotenuse, which I know it is my leg times the square root of 2. So I know 5 square root of 2 equals my leg times the square root of 2. So my leg is just going to be 5, because those radical 2's cancel, which means both these sides are 5. When I look at this last one, number 31, I know that 4 is the same thing as my leg times the square root of 2. If I divide both sides by square root of 2, I get my leg to be 4 divided by the square root of 2. I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by square root of 2, so you guys get 4 square root of 2 over 2. So my leg is just going to be 2 square root of 2. Okay? Hopefully this is helpful. I'm going to ask you guys to try the other ones, and we will talk to you later.